Hey everybody, Happy New Year's, it's Brandon.
And Zeke.
And we're coming at you with another Daily Boyos episode, and for this episode, we're going to be covering the top movies that we're most anticipated for, movies and TV shows, that is.
We're going to do another top 3, just like we did for our top 3 best moments of 2022, just to kind of start off this year, as we're only a couple weeks in so far into this new year, and we just wanted to really discuss what we're most excited for.
So yeah, Zeke, what are you looking for?
I would say that my number 3 most anticipated show in this case for 2023 is Star Wars The Acolyte.
Nice.
I haven't actually gotten super excited about this show until recently, when I saw some leaked set photos depicting the Jedi, and I've begun to hear more story and plot lines that are being set up in this show, and how it's supposed to be very Sith-centric.
Yeah, I heard it was going to be the first Sith narrative movie where we actually get the perspective of the Sith from the starting point.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is like, it's the fact that it is the first to really pursue that point of view. It makes it something that everybody, I think, is going to really kind of cherish as part of this grander Star Wars narrative, as something that's not only is it escaping the typical Skywalker saga, but it's actually branching out into the Sith lore and building up not only, kind of the Sith and Jedi situation, but the whole Republic and how it starts to crumble. So, very excited for that one. Brandon, what's your number 3 moment of 2023?
So I think another moment I'm really excited for, that being a movie, would be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That being the final end of the trilogy of the Guardians storyline, and I'm very excited for this movie, as Guardians is a phenomenal franchise in the MCU, as not a lot of people knew about the Guardians. I didn't really know about the Guardians going into the MCU, so it's crazy to think that this journey started from unknown characters to the most cherishable characters in the MCU.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be very depressing. James Gunn did say that the holiday special was like his last comedic relief going into this, and he was going to just let all of that out, and then just basically just let in all of the depressive and more heart-driven moments kind of taken here. And it basically I'm going to be crying during this movie, as I teared up heavily in the other movies. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to Adam Warlock. I'm looking forward to just all the new characters. I'm looking forward to the resolution and all the storylines and these characters. There's a lot of crazy theories that we'll end up covering later. I'm really excited for that, as I do think that that'll be another trilogy in the MCU that it's going to wrap up just beautifully. Probably, I think it'll probably be the best trilogy. At this point, Guardians and Guardians 2 is already up there. I can't imagine number 3 being any different. So, yeah.
My second most anticipated movie of 2023 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And when Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse first came out, I actually didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it because I didn't mind, the concept. I wasn't huge into the idea of getting an animated Spider-Man film yet. So I held off on it. But when it came out on DVD and I saw it, I was absolutely amazed, not only by the animation, but the story and the soundtrack, of course, and just every bit of creative, energy that went into that film. And I'm most excited for the sequel, because I have a feeling that creative energy is being put into, the sequel in the same way it was put into the first one. And we're going to get introduced to Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Woman, a whole spider society, and then we also get to keep expanding on the story of Miles Morales and how he fits into the whole Spider-Verse. And I think it's going to be something that is just continues the uniqueness of the Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie. What is your next most anticipated film or show of 2023?
So I'm really looking forward to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, as Indiana Jones is one of the biggest franchises that I grew up with and cherish to this day. I think Indiana Jones 1, 2, 3 are complete cinematic masterpieces that a lot of other movies can learn from to this day. I think that there was a beautiful arc between Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, and Temple of Doom. Even though all those movies are out of order, there is a very solid arc that Indy goes through if you put them all through chronological order. And then there was Crystal Skull, which was a Disney-produced indie movie that didn't turn out very well and I didn't like very much.
and it was a very bad way to kind of conclude Indy's storyline. So I think that Dial of Destiny is going to be a perfect way to actually conclude the way it should be ended, and it's going to be fun, being with Harrison Ford, going through some adventures, tackling some Nazis, and it's going to be a fun time. I'm very much looking forward to this movie and all of the history that's going to be covered throughout this movie, as Indiana Jones always does go into more of the pseudoscience type of stuff, but in reality it always does kind of center around some grounded history, and some of the stuff that we've seen in the trailer so far is very interesting, and I have a whole trailer breakdown talking about it, so I really recommend you go check it out if you haven't. And yeah, so what's your next movie or TV show that you're most excited for?
And I would say the television show, and probably the project I'm looking forward to the most in 2023, is the Ahsoka series, which is set to come out in summer of 2023. For me, I think it's really significant that Ahsoka has come this far as a character, to the point in which she is getting a live action television show devoted solely to her. And she just started as an annoying teenager in the Clone Wars 15 years ago, who people very much kind of just wanted to disinclude and ignore, but she has really become such an important part of the Skywalker saga and the whole Star Wars fandom, that it's a celebratory moment to have her gain the recognition that she deserves. And I think that this show is going to go in a direction that really does branch out our understanding of the Force and bring a conclusion to the story of Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn that was started in Star Wars Rebels. And it's all going to just correlate so closely to the person Ahsoka has become, and the fact that Hayden Christensen is involved and will be, Anakin Skywalker. It's gonna be a really special show in my opinion, and it's coming from Dave Filoni himself. So I think we just have a lot of reason to hold high hopes for this one and to believe that it's gonna be important for the future of Star Wars. What is another film or show that you are excited for in 2023?
So the number one movie that I'm looking forward to in 2023 would have to be Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Primarily because it's Christopher Nolan and he is amazing with every movie. I'm a huge fan of Interstellar, the Dark Knight trilogy, Tenet, Inception, so on and so on. So I'm very excited for him and Jonathan Nolan, his brother, who also write the movies with him, to take on this movie, as it's a very sad and misunderstood story of a man who created the deadliest weapon to ever exist. And it's going to be a beautiful yet terrifying story of the greatest horror created by man, and it's going to be very interesting being seen through the perspective of Christopher Nolan, as he is just an amazing director, camera to pen type artist. And unfortunately, we're not going to have an actual explosion in this movie, as we did have 1 week where we had the news where there was going to be no CGI used for the explosion, so automatically we were like, oh, of course they gave this man several $1 billion just to do a casual explosion in New Mexico. That's understandable, which I am all for, and they definitely should, but unfortunately it's just practical effects. But yeah, so regardless, I'm still very excited for this movie, and I think it's going to be the best movie of the year, so hopefully that's the case. But yeah, that's going to be our top movies and TV shows that we're most excited for and looking forward to in 2023. So go ahead and subscribe, comment down below for the movie and TV show that you're most excited for, and we'll catch you real soon. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Zeke.
And thanks for catching another Daily Boyos episode. And also follow us on our Instagram page, as we post daily content from Star Wars, Marvel, and other news and updates from materials that we like. So go ahead and follow us down there. I'll put a link down below in the description. And yeah, Happy New Year, and we'll catch you very soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.